All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going on this wild journey, not to some far off place, but right inside our own bodies. We're going to see exactly how light and sound become, well, sight and hearing. It's some pretty amazing biology that makes it all possible. Okay, picture this. You're walking down the street, you spot a friend. You wave. Simple, right? It feels instantaneous, almost like magic. But what's actually happening behind the scenes? There's this crazy complex chain reaction going on. So what is it? What happens in that tiny split second from seeing them to waving back?
So how does any of this even work? Well, it turns out pretty much every sensation we have follows the same basic playbook. 5 steps. First, you've got a stimulus, say the light bouncing off your friend. Then step 2, your receptors, in this case your eyes, detect it. Step 3, those receptors turn it into an electrical impulse, like a little zap of information. That impulse, step 4, shoots up to your brain. And the brain, the master controller, figures it all out and says, hey, that's Sarah. And finally, step 5, the response. Your brain tells your arm to wave. That 5-step process, that's the blueprint for everything we're going to talk about today.
All right, first up, vision, our window to the world. Let's follow a single ray of light and see where it goes. It's a pretty wild ride. Okay, so the journey starts at the cornea. That's the clear, protective window at the very front of your eye. From there, the light goes through the pupil. You know how that gets bigger or smaller? It's basically like the aperture on a camera, controlling how much light gets in. Next up is the lens, and its job is to focus all that light, projecting a perfectly sharp image onto the retina. Think of the retina as the movie screen at the back of your eye. This is where the real magic is about to happen. So to really get what happens on that movie screen, we need to look at how the eye is built. It's basically got 3 layers. On the outside, you have the sclera. That's the tough white part. Its job is just protection, keeping everything safe. The middle layer is the choroid. Think of this as the eye's life support system. It's packed with blood vessels that bring in all the nutrients and oxygen. And then you have that inner layer, the retina. This is the one we're really interested in. It's the grand finale, the place where light actually turns into something your brain can understand. Now, this retina is just jam-packed with these special cells called photoreceptors. And there are 2 main kinds. First, you've got your rod cells. Get this, there are about 90 million of them. These guys are your night vision crew. They're amazing at picking up shapes and movement when it's dark, but they only see in black and white. Then you have the cone cells. There are fewer of them, about 4.5 million, but they have a super important job. They're your color specialists. They kick in when the light is bright, and they're the reason you see the world in all its brilliant color. So a cell's seeing light. How does that even work? It's all about a chemical trigger. Inside each of those rods and cones, you have these special molecules called photopigments. They're made of 2 parts, a protein and something called retinol. And here's the cool part. Retinol is made from vitamin A. So when light hits one of these photopigment molecules, it actually forces the molecule to change its shape. That physical change is what creates the electrical signal. And that's it. That's why you were always told to eat your carrots. It's not a myth. The vitamin A literally becomes the fuel for your vision. Okay, so that's sight. Pretty amazing, right? Now let's switch gears and talk about sound. The journey a sound wave takes is just as mind-blowing. It's all about turning simple vibrations in the air into, well, everything we hear. Music, voices, you name it. The whole thing kicks off with the part of the ear you can see, the pinna. It's shaped like a funnel for a reason, to catch sound waves and direct them down the auditory canal. At the end of that tunnel, they hit the eardrum, or tympanum, and make it vibrate. Now, those vibrations get passed along to 3 tiny, tiny bones, the ear ossicles. Seriously, they're the smallest bones in your body. Their job is to act like a tiny amplifier, making the vibrations stronger. And then they pass that amplified vibration into the cochlea, this little snail-shaped thing where the real heavy lifting begins. Okay, so deep inside that snail-shaped cochlea is the real hero of our story, the organ of Corti. Now, the cochlea is filled with fluid, so when those little bones vibrate, they create waves in the fluid, kind of like ripples in a pond. And those waves wash over thousands of tiny, incredibly delicate hair cells. And here it is, the moment of truth. The physical bending of those little hairs is what creates the nerve impulse. That's the point where a physical vibration becomes an electrical signal that your brain can actually understand as sound.
But wait, there's more. The ear has this secret second job that's totally amazing. It's not just for hearing. Right next door to the cochlea, you've got the vestibular system. This is your body's built-in balance center. You've got these semicircular canals that act like little gyroscopes, telling your brain whenever you spin or tilt your head. Then you've got two other parts, the utricle and saccule, that detect when you're moving in a straight line, like in a car. All of this information is constantly feeding back to your brain, which is how you can stand up, walk, and, well, not fall over all the time, all happening automatically.
So we've just seen how unbelievably complex and frankly brilliant this machinery is. But here's the thing. It's also incredibly delicate. So that brings us to the really important practical part. How do we actually take care of these senses? How do we protect these priceless windows to our world? Yeah, because things can definitely go wrong. Take short-sightedness. That's when your eyeball is just a little too long, so the image focuses in front of the retina instead of on it. That's why a concave lens helps. It adjusts the focus point. Then there are cataracts. That's when the lens itself, which is supposed to be crystal clear, gets cloudy. The only fix is surgery to replace it. And then something really serious is glaucoma, which is when the pressure inside your eye gets too high and can damage the optic nerve. It just goes to show you how many things have to be working just right. Now for hearing, if there is one number you remember from this whole thing, make it this one: 85 decibels. A normal conversation is around, say, 40 to 60 decibels. Totally fine. But once you get above 85 for a long period of time, we're talking loud concerts, power tools, blasting headphones, you are doing permanent damage. What's happening is you are literally breaking those tiny, delicate hair cells we talked about. And here's the scary part. Once they're gone, they are gone for good. They do not grow back. So what can you actually do? The game plan is actually pretty straightforward. For your eyes, wash them and eat those hoods with vitamin A to keep your vision sharp. And yeah, try to limit your screen time. The WHO actually says less than an hour for kids under 5. For your ears, it's simple. Stay away from long exposure to anything over 85 decibels. And for both, get regular checkups. It's the best way to catch problems early before they turn into something big.
You know, when you really think about it, this whole journey, it's not just about biology, is it? It's about what that biology allows us to do. It's about experiencing life. This amazing, complex system is the reason why music can give you goosebumps, or why a painting can stop you in your tracks. It's how we connect with each other. Our senses aren't just hardware. They are literally the bridge between us and everything else.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Now that you know about the incredible microscopic ballet that happens every single second just so you can see a sunset or hear a song you love, how are you going to take care of those incredible windows to your world? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.